It's a different style to what we were expecting anyway, but we're going live.
Yeah, here we go. We've got Effortless and FlashSoul as the two players we will explore. As you so rightly said, we have not seen these guys before.
I have no idea what to expect.
Actually, Effortless played last week. I did see him play, but I can't remember exactly how it went. But there we go. The game has started off. We're on FlashSoul to begin with. And FlashSoul is not off to a fantastic start, to say the very least.
Well, what I do know about the American scene is, unlike the European scene where we hear of I guess it's more of a heavy axle style or the rocket-based play. Americans do enjoy their stronger aim, like the LG and the rails, so we should be in for a good aim fest.
Yeah, and actually something we noticed, like when I was casting with Sturmy last thing we noticed was there was a lot of flick railing. Like we noticed a lot of flick railing, but Effortless just nailing FlashSoul very easily there with some rails, heading 83% at the moment. Really nice, and even another crazy flick rail.
Within 40 seconds. Not bad, but cannot RGA.
Misses the rocket twice there.
He knows he made a mistake.
FlashSoul chilling at the Plaza YA, and aggressive play is something else that's super common that you can see, as well as the aim fest that you described.
A little bit of mistiming here, but he's so stacked it doesn't really matter. I can't see FlashSoul pushing in for this or the Mega if he sets up for it.
And there you go.
Back away.
FlashSoul playing on the back foot. How well can he play on this back foot? How well can...
Well, if he watched the European Cup, he might have picked up some tips from agents. So
yeah,
you never know.
Definitely, that would be really important to do for people like to go back and watch those demos. But look, that rocket jump really catching off FlashSoul by surprise there, and that rail finish looked really nice there too. So it looks like Effortless and stuff all under control at the moment, and FlashSoul needs to show us that he's got some skills out of control. And that aim on the jump pad at least was really good. Wow.
Really, really nice rails here. But FlashSoul is making it a little bit easy, exposing himself and just doing fairly few obvious moves.
And FlashSoul trying to get in the face of his opponent there with the rocket. Not quite going to work out for him. He does manage to get himself a Mega though, which could be considered a bit of a misstep by Effortless. But nevertheless, Effortless will just make the frag happen. He just sustained a lot of damage in the process, but it doesn't matter because I think he's going to be able to restack pretty comfortably here. Although FlashSoul is getting onto him there, but unfortunately for him, FlashSoul, as you said, that was set himself up for an easy
Effortless is hitting his shot, so what FlashSoul needs to do is just take it back a notch and play the corners, play the angles. If Effortless wants to push, you have to make him pay.
FlashSoul definitely being a bit too aggressive in spots where he shouldn't be. Always need to have a plan when you're playing, and minus aggression is never going to get you anywhere. So let's see if FlashSoul can actually turn his aggression into something positive here.
Yeah, that was much better. Not really receiving too much damage and getting away with the yellow, just by playing a bit more cautious.
And limiting those angles definitely is important. As Effortless picks up this red, he is in such a strong position at the moment, and it hasn't looked yet like FlashSoul is going to be able to contest him, and unfortunately caught out completely, just not in a position to escape, and the rockets of Effortless bouncing around.
But yeah, Effortless is just hitting the shots when he needs to, and it's hurting FlashSoul because he hasn't got a response at the minute.
And rocket jump up Effortless. So it seems like Bloodrun is even a popular map in North America too these days.
Classic map. Everyone, well, not everyone enjoys it.
Yeah,
but yeah, most people really enjoy this map.
I guess it's because T4 has not played anymore. It used to be T4 was the American map back in the day.
0-4's home map.
Indeed, that was definitely something that the North Americans were very much stronger at on average, I would say, or had an edge on average. Great rails from Effortless here.
-2.
Yeah, definitely doesn't seem to be breaking a sweat making all these shots.
I thought you were going to make the pun then. Effortless is making it effortless.
No, not quite. And again, FlashSoul just gets caught. So this is looking like a pretty dominating game for Effortless. Not much to really say about it, but we can talk about.
Quite solid, really. To be fair, he looks like he has good aim. Doesn't seem to be taking too much care around the map with his map control and stuff, but doesn't really need to at this point with 7-2 lead.
We can of course talk about what FlashSoul should be doing in a situation when he's facing someone like Effortless.
He needs to be playing the yellows and just pushing back and back. I mean, 9 frags of difference now. It's left it a little bit too late. Well, not in terms of the whole map, but in terms of what I've seen for him to come back so quickly.
Yep.
But a lot earlier, he should have played a lot more defensive rather than giving away a 5-0 lead in virtually a minute.
Yeah, something I definitely advise duelists, especially people learning to play Bloodrun, is like learn how not to die. And
easier said than done, really.
Yeah, but just have that as your priority. I think it's just like learn how not to die. And because definitely FlashSoul's been giving away some kills, making some aggressions that really put you behind. Every frag counts, it's all got to be for something. And there you go, just Effortless, just running in and just doing the job. And he is definitely a pretty strong aimer, that's for sure.
He is showing some good aim. A bit too cocky there with the flick shot. Oh.
And
okay.
what else other things would you advise someone like FlashSoul if he comes back and watches the VOD? What nugget of information would he get from ZSX about the game?
My wisdom. Yeah, I mean, watching your own demos is a very important thing, and with the luxury you have now of streams and VODs, maybe that's why you can get some analysis from us. That's why it also helps you improving as a player. But he gives away too easy frags. Obviously, he needs to work on general combat skills.
Yeah.
But yeah, these decisions like there, he came at the jump pad into a stacked Effortless and still pushed it when he should have backed off. It's very simple, really, because playing out of control is the hardest part of a dual quake.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's it, and that's definitely, and you know, it's always interesting as well because you can always tell the skill, like it's always something that makes it easy for you to read how good a player is by looking at seeing them in control and then seeing them out of control. It's like can be two completely different things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very easy to look good if you dominate a map.
Yeah.
It's even harder to look good when you're on the back foot for 10 minutes.
Exactly. It's like completely different skill sets. Like the skill sets of out of control, you have to be able to actually assess both your options and your opponents, and then basically make decisions based on the predictions you have of what you think their optimal plays are going to be. And it's like this back and forth thing where it's like it turns into a lot of psychology and a lot of very, very quick thinking and learning how to like deal damage efficiently and stuff. Whereas when you have the bigger stack, I mean, there are certain situations that are quite easy to just understand exactly what to do, and you don't have to like vary the situation to the opponent. Whereas it's more or less just this is actually just generally how you do it. Whereas out of control, you always are varying stuff to the opponent. So I think that's how I would explain why I think it's the harder part.
Yeah, I mean, there is a number of times, even when you get to a really top level, I felt it as well, when you just been killed and you spawn with absolutely nothing, and you're like, what can I do? I mean, the person has taken the major items, the yellows, and he's guarding one of the weapons, and you feel a bit lost.
Yeah.
And that's when you really have to keep your head.
Yeah, I felt a bit of despair just you talking about that situation. It made me feel like a bit despair.
Yeah, you just go panic mode.
Yeah.
And that's when it's very easy just to get a little bit angry and just try and rush because you think you have no other option. But that's the most important time to just play for time, essentially.
Yeah, definitely. It's really, really true. It can be very self-defeating sometimes.
Because I mean, it's very frustrating to be out of control and not to be able to do anything, but it's even more frustrating to be in control and not be able to drag someone. When you're constantly taking damage and being pushed back like minute after minute, it can weigh you down to the point where you make a rash decision and end up losing the map.
Yeah, that's really, really true. And it makes you feel like so inferior as well.
It does.
It's like you just feel like,
why? I have a big stack. Why can I not kill this guy?
So this is how this game works.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I remember that feeling very well.
And that's why it makes Quake so unique. I mean, there's very other few games where you can be so down and out and just completely turn things around with one play.
Yeah, definitely. And we have so many moments like that today as an example, I mean, as precedent for that.
It is so much beyond the tactical stuff that you have to hit your shots. For example, I mean, no disrespect to other games without skill shots, but when you hit your skill shots and the other person aren't, then you can see the difference, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And Effortless here, 15 to -1 so far, and it seems like he's had a pretty easy run of it. And I think this tournament, you know, as you said, we're both not super familiar with a lot of the players, so at this point, we have to say like, okay.
I mean, full respect to FlashSoul for sticking with it and giving us a full 10-minute match. But Effortless does seem like he's a very competent jeweler and could pressure for maybe a top 16 spot. Maybe. I'm not sure about who else is in the tournament, so it could go even further.
Yep. The hang is there.
Well, that's always going to be a big challenge to overcome the hang.
ID is also there. So I guess my prediction would probably be ID and a hang.
Not chance?
Oh, it's Chance.
Yeah,
Chance.
Chance
Okay, Bang and Chance. There we go. Okay, I totally missed Chance's
Rafa.
No, apparently he tried. I think he tried to get in, but there was something happened, some issue. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
Never mind. That's strange.
But he'll have plenty more chances to play. So
yes,
there
you
you
go.
go. The game ended. That is definitely an easy victory for Effortless. We saw him last week playing some good games. I think last week he may have lost to either Apparition or Aerobucks. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure.
Seems like he has solid aim, yet to be tested in a more tactical sense with his control and what have not. But it'd be good to see him in a later round.
Definitely. So guys, we are going to go to a quick break after we just had that match. We're going to move forward with more matches. But after the break, we will actually have that top 5 that I was talking about earlier.
Finally.
The new top 5 that combines all of the frags from both cups. So you'll get to see, you'll get to find out who had more frags in there, the Americans or the Europeans. So we're going to go to a quick break and we'll be right back.